Let's take a look at James Bear's new response, because this just came out today. This is the guy that plowed his own sister.
I like that you use the word plowed. Like, yeah, he really fucked his sister. Yeah.
He was 13 and the sister was 9.
Well,
and he was 13.
Unfortunate things happen. Let's see how he responds.
Recently, a document that is said to be the truth about myself was brought up by many people who think this is new information. This is a 5-year-old document that was made not with good intentions, but rather...
After 5 years, the incest expires, dude.
What is the point of bringing up that it's 5 years ago? If anything, that's worse, right? Everybody knew about this. He's basically saying, he's like, guys, we've already talked about this. This happened 5 years ago.
Get over it.
I guess he's saying like he's talked about it before and like it's being brought up again. He seems to have like a perception that like the people bringing it up are doing it to fuck his career or something. He said that before too. Well, I assume that's what he means.
All the people that brought it up again, it was like you, me, and then people on Twitter and stuff like that. I'm assuming, like, I'd never heard about this. I never knew who James Bear even was. Like, it's not like it's the same people just bringing it up over again. It's new people that stumble across this weird shit, find out about it, and are like, whoa, what is this all about?
The creator of that said document even tried to blackmail me afterwards and wanted me to end my relationship with someone they used to date. Doing so, he would retract that said document.
Okay, Tom, I believe you were you the one who was telling me about the creator of the document?
Yeah, the guy who wrote it is like a complete sketch.
He's so insane. He's more insane than James. It's actually like funny though.
The document is like amazingly bad in how it's written.
I love it. Yeah. I love it. So
but like the motivation for writing the document is that James Bear like fucked his girl or something, right?
Yeah, yeah.
James Bear like started dating this girl that like this other like guy dated before or something, or like wanted to date, and then basically after the fact, like the guy was like, oh, it turns out James Bear committed incest, so I'll write a 50-page document about like 1 page of incest and the rest will be about how like he's a bad boyfriend or something.
50 pages? No, it's 182, Tom.
Sorry, I'm mistaken. 182.
It's so long. It's so long. It's literally as long as the Bible.
And it's dense as fuck too.
Yeah, how many pages is the Bible?
I think the Bible is longer than 180 pages.
Yeah.
I predict.
I'm just gonna go on a win there and say.
a little more than 180. It's 1,200, but I mean,
nice.
It's a little bit. It takes 30 hours to read the Bible.
In which I did not give in to his demands, and for that I have proof of this, which I will post right here.
The proof is so hilarious. We have to.
Whatever I said in the.
This was taken hours after the original doc posted. The screen cap came from an anonymous source who wishes to keep their identity a secret. So what is this?
The person who sent the DM to the anonymous person is the document writer. So like after the document was landed, he's like, I'm blackmailing James Bear into doing this, and I'll take the document down.
Well, let's take a look at this right here. James needs to make a public apologize on Twitter to every single person for harassing me for a year nonstop. 2, James or Clarissa, I don't mind which, needs to break up. I don't care how or what, I just don't think it would be safe if Clarissa is dating somebody who, I'm assuming it says had sex with her sister.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I don't need to repeat myself, don't I? Clarissa deserves someone better than dating James. Oh.
Number 3 is so funny.
Number 3, Clarissa needs to remove @DoodleJamHeart, and James will do the same. Take that bitch out of the bio.
Take that shit out.
Oh my god, dude. This is simpery on like a whole... This is disgusting. This is like a triangle of just cancer. That's all I want. 3 simple things. If he does that in less than 24 hours, if he needs extension, then whatever. I will delete the document, apologize, and tell everybody to stop attacking James. If James does attack me again, or even try to hurt Clarissa, or any of my friends, or even James trying to date Clarissa again, the document will return, and that will repeat thanks to James. Bonus. If Clarissa... Bonus, if Clarissa realizes that she has been dating somebody who had sex with their sister and had a crush and wanted to date a 21-year-old with the same name as her when he was 16 years old, James made a blank joke about blank James hurt my friend blank and so much more. That was a clusterfuck. What does any of that mean?
He's not the most articulate
Well,
writer.
he writes like a retard, but half the shit is redacted, so I don't even know what the fuck any of that meant. Then that meant she realized she'd been dating a twisted, messed up human being, and she should have dated me again. To keep it short, if Clarissa realizes the truth and also wants to date me again, and no, that wasn't the reason why I made the document, it was to show everybody and prove and also what James did to me. So yeah, it's completely up to him, but it would make the pain go away if he simply did those 3 small things.
Yeah.
So this guy wanted,
he wants the girl back.
He wants the girl back. This is just terrible. Everything about this is awful.
And I knew that this person would leak these messages one day with bad intentions. However, as much as I don't want to talk about my past, what happened back then was an isolated issue. It only happened once when I was a minor. It was already dealt with.
He's lying though.
Those who are involved.
Because he said in the original DM, he said it happened multiple times over the course of 3 years, him fucking his sister. And now he's saying it only happened once. So either he's lying now or he's lying.
I don't
back
think
then.
that's what he meant. I mean, if I had to give the most charitable interpretation, maybe he's saying like, I don't have a history of trying to be with like younger people. Like me and my sister had a very weird relationship. It was just with her, and it was really fucked up, but it did happen. Like to give a little charitability to him. Like I think he knows he can't get away with straight up lying.
Well, there is definitely an inconsistency because I mean, I'm pretty sure in the original response, he literally said something like it happened, or not the response, but in the DM that was in the document, he said it happened multiple times. But then since then, in every public response, he's clarified it only happened once. So unless he's referring to two different things in like the DM versus in the responses, it's a little weird.
I am not a threat to anyone, and the other claims are not true. This situation is old news, and despite what you think about all of this, no one
Old
has
news?
Dude, it's old news, dude. It's old.
Old news.
any right to judge my past, because it was never anyone's business to begin with, since it was a very personal situation. It was only brought up by various people as a scapegoat to attack me as a person.
You know, I would argue that it is people's business when you go around telling everybody about this shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Because wasn't he just going around just telling everybody about this, and then obviously it got dumped?
He was being kind of careless, yeah.
Yeah, so at that point, who can you be mad at? You know what I mean? Obviously,
how did it come to like light that he fucked his sister?
The guy exposing him wrote the document exposing the fact that he fucked his sister. So yeah.
But he DM'd the guy who exposed the document prior, and that's how he was able to get the information.
Because he would just tell he would just tell multiple people about this insanely private story, and he was pretty careless about it, and now he's getting upset that people are talking about it. Fuck, like I don't know what to say.
Also, saying that people are using the incest situation as a scapegoat to hate on him, I don't think that's a scapegoat. I think that is the reason people don't like it.
I got messaged by someone who claims to be like a current friend of James Bear. They told me, they were like, if you're willing to listen, I have like a decent explanation for the James Bear stuff that I think would like clear things up a bit, and I think make you even feel bad for him. And I was like, I don't want to be involved. Like, I'm not going to sit in a Discord call with you and listen to, like, why this guy, like, it was okay for him to fuck his sister years ago. But if he wants to, like, say this shit publicly, by all means, he can. Maybe there's some more of that in the rest of this video. I haven't seen it yet. But basically, like, they were trying to get me, like, somewhat personally involved in the story. And I was like, I have no personal investment in how this goes. I'm just...
I mean, just out of curiosity, like, I wouldn't have any issue. I'm almost curious.
I just didn't want to sit in a Discord call with this guy and, like, listen to this shit. Like, I felt like it was going to be, like... It was going to be kind of gross. And also, like, I don't want to be, like, part of like the news story, like involved in reporting it. Like if someone else like brings it out, then I'll talk about it. If someone else, if that guy or if James Bear wants to like talk about it publicly, then I'll talk about it. But I don't want to like the way they were framing it. I can ask him if he wants to, but the way he was framing it was like,
I'm curious.
I felt like I was going to be putting myself in a position where I had to be like, well, actually, guys, this is what James Bear said, and like I don't want to be in that position. I don't want to be involved in the allegations apart from like talking about things that other people said. You know?
Yeah.
I just want to listen. I'm curious. I feel like I need to hear this now. My curiosity's been plucked.
I can shoot them a message if you want. I can see if.
Yeah. See about that. It would probably be incredibly irresponsible of me, but I'm in my don't give a fuck arc right now. All right.
I mean, if you want to be irresponsible, all up to you.
I had a convo with Mr. Girl like a month ago, so I really don't give a fuck about, you know, weird conversations or platforming or anything like that.
Childhood wasn't a normal one, as it was filled with tons of really messed up scenarios, and I didn't have the proper resources to face these kinds of issues growing up. And that may sound like an excuse, but like it or not, it's part of why things happened and why I'm here today. The things I said years ago do not represent who I am today as a person, and I'm a work in progress to be a better person. I'm a human being, and we all make mistakes. After the document was being brought up once more, another call-out has happened. And I don't want to name drop this person because of the person's validity of the call-out. From my recollection, the conversation between me and this person happened like 3 years ago. And yeah, we did talk about weird stuff, and I figured they were okay with it, but I don't recall having life-threatening situations with them, nor do I remember coming off as needy as they claim. Regardless of what I said, I have no way of checking of what I said with this person, since back in fall of 2020, they deleted all of their messages on Discord. I deleted them as well, but out of fear that they might wrongfully post a narrative that I'm a terrible person towards them. That doesn't mean I won't apologize. So to the person that felt that way with me, I'm really, really sorry.
What is this?
This whole situation has been
confused. Yeah, I got
It's
lost.
like
They had a conversation with someone that
I feel
was
like he's
late.
talking to somebody. I feel like there's only one person right now that knows what's happening, and that's the person that he's addressing. Whereas everybody else is listening to this is like, huh?
Didn't really know how to move forward from all of this, but after seeing a therapist, I plan on seeing them more. My first visit was successful, actually. As of right now, I'm taking a break from everything. All I want is some privacy. To everyone else who found out about my past this way, from the bottom of my heart, I am truly, truly sorry for how I handled this in the past, on Twitter, and my previous responses, and all that. I'm really sorry for coming off disingenuous. This will be the last time I'll be talking about this situation publicly. Thank you for listening.
That was
I guess
gruesome.
what more can you ask from him? Like,
What can you really do? I guess he could make more drawings or whatever he does in his channel.
I assume he's just gonna start making animations again. I mean, at this point, it's up to the
I mean,
audience.
yeah, I don't know. We all make mistakes, right?
Many months later.
James Bear, the, I guess, art YouTuber that earlier this year got re-exposed for having an incestual relationship with their sister. They put out a new response video, just a 4-minute long
just
response
the Canadian
video.
one. I can just see by the fucking RCMP. Oh no.
Yes, he was Canadian.
Yeah. So, a little refresher here. It all began in February 2013 when I began to get a little friend called depression. I didn't know at the time, and I did something terrible. I had sex with my sister, which at the time I was 13.
Whoa. You can't just fucking say that.
So yeah, he has sex with his sister, and
So I had sex, and then it's just like, let's just brush over that.
No, hold on. You gotta factor in all those pauses. I had sex with my sister.
The net positives, guys. I
Sorry, I
lost
just
my
kinda
virginity.
Threw that on you guys there without giving y'all a chance to.
No, like here it is. You gotta read it like this. All right. It all began in February 2013 when I began to get a little friend called depression. I didn't know it at the time, and I did something terrible. I fucked my sister.
fuck my sister.
At the time, remember, for legality's sake, I was 13 and she was 9. Fuck. If it makes you feel better, I'm suffering emotionally. And I did it because of depression. Someone told me that depression can't make you do things. And we've been doing it till, I'm gonna say, like 2015 and 2016. And I know it's still affecting me. In 2014, I got beat up outside in the cold winter night. And I got sick. And that sickness could have killed me. And then in 2015, I got sick again! And while I was sick, I cried myself to sleep and I began to start losing friends. My depression kept getting to me. My dad emotionally abused me too. And so January 23rd, 2016, I began to feel like shit and I nearly took my own life. But I didn't and went to sleep. My friend Alex, I told him on that day that I should, and I forget to tell him that I'm going to sleep, got worried and phoned the RCMP and took me to the hospital. And they were checking on me to see if I'm okay. But I was. So yeah, I got sick again, but I'm okay. So yeah. That's what happened. But don't tell anyone, by the way. And then a bunch of sad emojis.
Don't tell anyone. Make sure nobody finds out about this.
I didn't know this continued till 2015, 2016. I thought this was a single-time occurrence.
No, it wasn't.
Oh god. Yeah, okay, this is much worse than I thought it was. I didn't look into this situation because I heard incest and I just like tuned out. I was like,
Didn't
whatever.
You cover it though?
No.
Oh, you
cover
did?
it.
Oh, I thought you did cover this in your
I
channel.
saw it and I was like, incest? No, thank you.
I saw this and I was like, incest? Hell yeah. That's why I covered it. I was
Free
like,
content.
Finally something that isn't just pedo, dude.
Dude, James Bear's like, I came down with a terrible sickness.
Good one. Good one, buddy. You're fucking retarded. Well, they responded.
I thought he said that it happened once. I didn't know it happened like multiple times.
Yeah,
The
like
fucking
this is
3 years till he was 16.
Well, Harley's, you're acting like that changes everything. I feel like once is bad enough, right?
To me.
It does?
I think 13 is really bad, right? But I also think 13-year-olds can make terrible decisions. I think if you're still doing it at 16, I think at 16, fuck no. Fuck no.
I think it's just a
that's
terrible
What are you
decision.
doing consistently over the course of 3 years?
Dude, just hearing that at 16, dude, I think at 16, if you're doing that shit, no. That's like, no, that's gone. Goodbye.
Yeah, but like,
honestly,
what compels a 13-year-old to do that? I feel like that's like, something like
Yeah,
worse than just a
13-year-old
simple
probably
mistake.
Deep-seated trauma.
I have kind of a more nuanced take on this. I actually don't think he should be like ousted from everything forever. I don't think he's necessarily an evil person. I mean, you know, it's really easy to demonize someone like that and say they're evil forever. But I mean, we have no idea what his like, you know, childhood was like and how fucked up it was.
I hear you, but it's just a difficult position for me to come to. Like, I had a guy this week on Monday. This guy called in, and he was talking about like how he like molested his sister or something. But he was like laughing it off like a meme and stuff like this. He was like both remorseful, but thought it was like funny at the same time. And to me, like, I just look at people like that as like, you are total scum. Like, you need to be like ejected from society. It's hard for me to like.
Just need fucking God or something, you know.
Yeah,
I mean,
no
doubt when you're confronting it, like it is a really disturbing thing. But I mean, at this point, like, okay, let's say James Bear has like stopped, right? Like nothing like that's going on. Let's say he's gotten therapy. He's not in a position where he's gonna do anything like that again, right? Like he was a kid. Okay, if he was 20 and she was 13, it would be like. But they were both kids. People say it's inexcusable. It's inexcusable. Okay, it's inexcusable from your position. We have no idea what this kid's life was like. We have absolutely no idea like what he was going through. So I'm not saying
the same person as he.
I'm not saying it's okay. I'm not saying there's any excuse. You know, excuse is not the right word. I'm basically just saying like what am I supposed to do? Like kill him for it? Like are we supposed to like be like fuck you? Like you need to die?
Yeah, I guess
like,
it's because yeah, that's true. Like that argument is like just like banishing this guy from society, right? Like what does that do? Does it make society safer? Not really. You're banishing him from the internet. You're banishing him from having like an internet job. So what utility does that have? But on the other hand, it's like, well, what? Am I just supposed to do nothing? Like this guy's like a total fucking freak. But I also don't know like the psychology of like behind it. I don't know. It's just a difficult, like, I hear what y'all are saying. It's difficult for me to accept that, though. But I feel like some people are just,
I mean, I
like,
agree. It's difficult to accept, but when I think...
Totally.
When I think through it logically, like what am I supposed to do? Like, does he just deserve to fucking be, like, put in a camp, right? Like, I don't know. Probably not. I don't think so. Like there is a line, obviously. Like, I remember when I made my Amos Yee video, there was some more discussion around that, and I think someone had asked Mr. Girl on stream what he thought about that. And he said, I assume he was saying this, like, full stop. I don't think it was, like, ironic or anything, but he said that Amos Yee, he doesn't think should be like in jail for what he did, which by the way was like grooming a 14-year-old girl when he was like 21. Yeah. I mean
girl is a very insane individual.
Didn't that guy like openly admit to watching child porn too?
Yeah. Amos Yee is a pedophile. But the reason I bring this up is to say like there is kind of a spectrum to it. Like obviously like Amos Yee deserves punishment for what he did, right? Like that needs to happen. I'd say he probably maybe deserves worse than what he got. As far as someone like James Bear, like I don't really know like to what extent like society can hold him accountable at this point, right?
Yeah, I guess the way you're talking about James Bear is kind of how I feel about like Zero, because it was like a very like quick, as far as we know, instance. But with James Bear, he was consistently like fucking his sister for 3 years. That's a really long time, especially like during.
So I'm actually confused on exactly what happened there. Is that what he meant in those messages?
He said, and we've been doing it till I'm gonna say between 2015 and 2016. I think that changes a lot to me, because if like a severely fucked up. I
guess the reason why I asked that is because the way he phrased this entire thing is like written like totally like incoherently and confidently. He's not using proper English, which is why it's such a mess, and why I'm wondering like, is that exactly what he meant?
I've talked with some people who allegedly knew James Bear like before all of this and like during like in real life and stuff like that, and they say it was going on for like 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah,
well, no doubt. I mean, that's very fucked up. But I mean, once again, like I don't really know what I'm supposed to do about that.
What are you supposed to do about any like situation like this that crops up?
Well, with the pedophile who's like, you can just be like, all right, well, this guy needs to be thrown in jail. With James Bear, it's like, should he be thrown in jail?
Did he get trauma? Like,
isn't incest illegal?
I mean, there are a lot of things that are illegal. Smoking weed is illegal in some places. Like,
in some places.
Like, I don't want to go just by the
That's the thing, though. It's like
smoking weed and fucking your sister is a little different.
No, I agree. It's different,
really.
but you're. I agree. It's different. It's completely different. But the reason why I brought that up is because your entire like all you said was like, well, is it illegal?
Well, we were talking about pedophiles, and you're like, oh, throw them in jail, and I'm like, if incest is illegal too, wouldn't that same logic apply? Like, throw them in jail?
But what I want to happen to pedophiles has nothing to do with the legality. It has to do with them being like depraved and like evil. Like, it doesn't have to do with like what the law says.
I think incest is depraved and evil.
Oh yeah, totally.
I think it probably is, but I don't think it necessarily is like everyone who commits it is depraved and evil, right? Like, I don't think that.
There's a
let's say you have two 10-year-olds. Are they depraved and evil?
If you got a brother and like, I don't know, if you're incestuous, like if you're adults and committing incest like consensually, that's between both of you. I think it's fucking weird, but I'm not going to consider you depraved evil people for it, right? But this is clearly two underage people, and it's been going on for 3 years. Clearly, James is very much in the wrong, and you know, it's like,
oh yeah, no doubt.
Do you throw somebody in prison over this, or do you try to
throw them
into some element of counseling so that you can try to understand why they committed these things?
That's the thing.
And obviously, you have to factor in the younger person in this too, right? Like the sister in this case. Like, what the fuck is she thinking?
4 years
about all
younger.
this?
From it would have happened from 9 to 12.
But somebody else that's even more emotionally stunted than the other person that's committing the crime too. Like, I don't know. It's such a weird fucking hand grenade to hold. Like,
to me, that's like the main question, right? Is does this person belong in jail? And that's a difficult one for me.
Yeah,
but the question for us, because we don't have any bearing on the law, is should he be able to make animations on YouTube?
I don't think his animations are harming anybody, but like I don't think a lot of people's content, when they're terrible people, harm anybody. Like, I don't think EDP's fucking videos are harming anybody, but I do think obviously he shouldn't have a platform because the platform allows him to access his community.
Honestly,
so
the platform also gives him the financial possibility to achieve those crimes as well too. That's the thing.
Yeah.
But if he was going to achieve like incest, like he would be doing that whether he has the YouTube channel or not, right?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying.
But
like, if you're a pedophile, EDP can like use his audience to go after them. But if you're doing incest, I mean, your sister's going to be there whether you have a YouTube channel or not.
Well, it's indicative of his mental state, right? Like, if he's willing to commit incest, how likely is he going to be like a rapist or whatever, Like,
yeah, but then we're going off of thought crimes and like presumed.
Yeah, obviously.
But also, like, none of us are psychologists, so I don't want to psychoanalyze him. I want a therapist too.
Let's hit his response video. We've been talking for a bit. We haven't even.
Oh yeah, we should.
Yeah.
I'm here to give a coherent response to some criticism that I've received. I think some of it is valid.
Okay, wait, Augie, pause this for a second. Definitely comes across as a guy that's fucking his sister. No doubt.
Jesus.
It's good incest criticism, nice.
Didn't he have a video that he uploaded like a couple months ago, also called Final Response, or he said it was his final response in the video?
Yeah.
How many final responses is he gonna have? I think he said it's like his final response like 6 times over the last couple of years.
Final response coming soon.
For those of you who are unaware, I've been subject to scrutiny due to an event that happened in my past. An event that did happen, but important information regarding it has been left out or replaced with misinformation. I've responded to this multiple times in the past, but I responded poorly. I assumed everyone already had all of the context, so my responses were often vague or were missing information. I also made some emotional responses that didn't properly convey the truth about the situation. This is on me, and I apologize for my lack of clarity. The event in question has left me with scars that I have yet to completely heal from. But before I tell my story, I want people to know that I made the mistake I made without knowing what I was doing. When I was a child, I once had a sexual encounter with a family member. It was an isolated situation, and it has deeply traumatized me. When the incident occurred, I had no knowledge of what I did or why it was immoral. I didn't even have a basic understanding of what sex was due to being a sheltered kid. When I found out what I did when I was older, I felt nothing but grief. I will never make this
So
mistake
here
ever
is he
again.
saying that it just happened once. It was an isolated incident and didn't happen for 3 years, right? Is that what he's saying?
Now we
Other
need to know if that's
sources,
true,
there's
if that's
multiple,
backtracking.
I think it's backtracking.
Yeah,
I mean, he
because
said it was multiple times in
He's
the DMs
inconsistent,
itself, and
right?
other people have.
I mean, at this point, why backtrack? Like, you already say you fucked your sister. Like,
But like,
It sounds a lot better.
Well, I assume he's making the video because people are talking about it.
It sounds a lot better if you did it once versus over the course of 3 years, I guess.
That's true, but I guess if I'm thinking like from his position, if you're already at the point where everyone knows you fucked your sister, like whether you did it once or a bunch of times, I guess I don't know. It seems like pretty bad either way, you know.
Yeah.
It's not like
it's pretty bad either way, but it's the lesser of two evils, right?
They still got PR brain running in their heads after all this shit for some fucking reason, so.
Yeah, it's why he made like another response after already making a response to the new research.
My final response.
How did this even become public? Like, how does you fucking your sibling
He
become
told a bunch of
public?
people privately, and then they exposed it all.
I see.
Yeah, they actually exposed it 5 years ago.
This has been this has been a thing that's been coming, like it comes up and like dies out every year for the last 5 years.
Every couple of years.
In fact, this response I'm here is like the 6th response that he's made to the entire situation.
Yeah, apparently
what I've done.
I'm gonna head out, guys. I gotta take care of some stuff.
Damn,
Right,
Muda
thank you.
doesn't want to talk about the incest shit?
Yeah.
depression that lasted for many of my teenage years. I started telling my friends about it when I was 14 years old. Some of them told my story to others to try and embarrass me. After this happened, I've dramatized the details when retelling the story. I changed certain parts because I wanted to see who would and wouldn't gossip about it. So this is why there are some conflicting accounts about what exactly happened.
That sounds like horseshit. That sounds like such bullshit, dude.
Bullshit. That sounds like bull.
Dude, when I said I did all of these things, I was just testing if this person trusted me, you know? Like, I didn't actually mean it, dude. I didn't mean
That's like if you got accused.
Test a lot of people.
Dude, that's like if you got accused of being a pedophile, and then in your response, you're like, well, I raped multiple kids. And then later you're like, well, I only raped one kid. I just said I raped multiple just to see who would run with the story. Like,
let's crazy backtrack.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Is that the actual
that is retarded, yeah.
The voices?
The incident only happened once, but because of the multiple stories I've told, some people have been misled into believing that it happened multiple times. This isn't true. I would like to personally apologize to everyone who I misled with these alterations to the story. I was being destructive to myself and disingenuous to you. Some of the people who I confided in tried to use my story to take advantage of me and try to hurt me for their own gain. These people also attempted to make me out as a rapist or a predator. I was a child who was unable to truly consent to the situation I was in because I was too naive to even understand it. So I've always felt like this assessment hasn't been fair. Worst of all is that some people have used this situation as an excuse to threaten me, create drama with my friends, or to harass people that I've loved. This has hurt me a lot recently, but while it's hard to face some of the harassment I've received, I'm mostly hurt by what this has done to the people I have cared about. I want nothing more than for that to stop. I felt horrible as soon as I found out I made a mistake. Once I was finally able to internalize its implications, it was already in the past and I could no longer undo it. I still feel an immense amount
By the way, I want to remind you guys that nobody was talking about this situation right now until he uploaded this new video today.
Yeah, the last time it was like consistently talked about was, you know, when I talked about it.
That's not. I think Daft Peanut posted a video like yesterday.
Oh, is that why? Oh, then I'm wrong.
So that's absolutely not the case. You're all wrong, misinformed.
No, I forgot.
Forgive me for not seeing Daft Peanut.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't. Sorry, I'm not subbed to Daft Peanut.
Wow,
it is your bad. That's right. It is your bad. You're welcome, Bo.
Yeah.
You're not subbed to Belle Delphine?
Okay, fucking incest sympathizer. Shut the fuck up.
Why are you telling that to Ricky?
Okay.
Ricky
I just got here, bro.
I'm telling that to Tom. I'm telling
okay.
How could you, Ricky? I'm so disappointed.
Fuck you, Ricky, you incest supporter.
Ricky, don't you love it?
You incestuous enjoyer.
But I don't want the mistakes I made as a boy to define my life as a man. It's been almost a decade since it happened, and I never imagined that this burden would come back in and out of my life for this long.
Now you're a man.
I want everyone to know that this is the last time I respond to this, because I can't let it continue to define me. I'm an artist who wants to bring creative ideas into the world. Everyone else in my family has already moved on from this, but I've let it linger for far too long. Therapy and support from a small hand of people has helped me a lot. I'm convinced that I need to let this chapter of my life end and move on so I can be a better person. Thank you, everyone who has been there for me throughout this entire situation. I handled everything so poorly from the start, and the fact that anybody is still listening means a lot to me. I'm going to take some more time to recover before...
Alright, we're done with this.
He became a man after he lost his virginity.
Dude, he's an artist. He wants to break social boundaries. He wants to break social norms.
I want to move on from the SS guys. I got art to make.
He wants to break tradition, you know, family tradition, familial tradition. Alright.
That whole thing about like telling people conflicting stories doesn't, I don't know.
That sounds so terrible.
He's mentally fucked in my opinion.
That statement.
I think he knows that. That's why he's seeing
I don't believe that.
But I will.
RFC After Hours is a live trending issues and entertainment broadcast with co-host Boblax, broadcasted every weekday, Monday through Friday, starting at 6:30 p.m. Central. The show is for entertainment purposes only. All chat messages and donations read are the words of the original messenger, and certain viewpoints expressed do not reflect that of myself or Boblax.